Man, another good day to teach and to learn and to get better. Like I mentioned yesterday, we really focus on elements of situational ball to elevate the teaching and the learning, whether it's possession down football or 2-minute or red zone. We just can't get enough of it, particularly to kind of put the icing on what's been a good offseason from a teaching standpoint. The rules of the game and how you conduct yourself sometimes changes, and it's just good to teach some of those nuances, particularly those that are transition from the college game to the pro game. The 2-minute, for instance, in college game, you get a earned first down. There's a clock stoppage as they administer the chain movement and so forth. And so there's a lot to be taught and learned, nuances relative to the game at this level. And in environments like this give us an opportunity to do so. In the midst of that, man, we were just, watching them compete. Obviously, we're doing it with the governor and doing it in an appropriate way in this setting, but it still is fun. It still is football, and it's good to watch them partake in it in that way. I'll pause and open it up for questions.
Mike, Kenny Pickett's mentioned he perceives you guys to be ahead of last year's pace in terms of the installations and how fast you're going through things. Is he right, and what does that reflect?
His maturation's got a lot to do with it. And so it's probably true, but probably from a perception standpoint, he's probably a little bit lower anxiety than he was a year ago, and so he's able to absorb the totality of what it is that we're doing and the things that come with being him, the leadership component. And I just think he's in position to receive things from a different perspective this year that may change his outlook on what it is that we're doing.
Who stood out to you today in some of those settings that you mentioned, whether it be the 2-minute or the red zone, the situational?
I don't know that I'm looking for standouts. I'm really just listening more than anything. I think communication is a display of understanding. And so I'm looking at adjustments being made, communications offensively and defensively, declarations from a protection standpoint, adjustments from a coverage standpoint. I'm doing probably more listening than I am watching because I'm just really interested in the learning component, and communication is an indicator of that.
Like the guys that weren't here yesterday were here today. Do you got all 90 on hand today?
I think we did. Sometimes this time of year, man, there's things that come up, and we're afforded the opportunity to kind of take care of people in their individual needs this time of year. When we have an opportunity to do so, we do. But less important, or more important than that is, when people miss work, is opportunities for others to elevate in the groups in which they work. The number of reps they get. We got some veteran players out here. Whether they're here or not, I minimize them in environments like this. Every rep that Pat Peterson doesn't take is an opportunity for Joey and Corey to get better, for example. And so that's our mentality.
Anyone else?
Danny was talking yesterday about some of the changes to kickoffs. How do you see that playing out in terms of the fair catch and maybe minimizing that pop-up or emphasizing good things?
I have no idea. I don't think that any of us do. I think anything that we say this time of year is somewhat speculative, and so I'll hold my cards.
As you were saying yesterday, his eyes are kind of open now to what's happening around the league at his position with big-name guys getting cut, some getting tagged or staying away this time of year. What's your perspective on that just globally with what's going on?
I don't worry about the Joneses. I worry about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I acknowledge some things that go on around us, and I try to learn from it, but very rarely do I have a significant opinion regarding things that don't pertain to us.
All right.
Thanks, guys.